Welcome to the MCP Texture Play Overlay using the MCP Texture Applicator Plus Action Set video tutorial. In this video tutorial, we will show you how simple and easy it is to apply and adjust textures to images in Photoshop and Elements using the free MCP Texture Applicator Plus Action Set now available from mcpactions.com. In this brief video tutorial, we will walk through the steps of the Texture Applicator Plus action. Once you have the actions downloaded and installed into your actions palette, you will notice there are now two actions in this set. There is the MCP Texture Applicator, which is an advanced version of the original action created by MCP Actions, and there's now also an MCP Texture Color Changer action within this set that we will use to adjust the hue and saturation of our textures once we've applied them to our images. Let's start by choosing an image that we would like to apply a texture to. In order to place our texture on top of our image, we're going to go ahead and click the MCP Texture Applicator action within the set. We'll go ahead and click play and a dialog box will appear. We will click continue to navigate to the texture we would like to place, and the texture action will walk us through the process. Now that the texture has been brought into Photoshop, we'll go ahead selecting the transform clouds and fit our texture over our entire image and click check. Once we select check, you will see in your layers palette that the action has begun working. It's going to take this texture and create it 6 times, each with a different blending mode applied. This will make it easy for us to head into our layers palette and toggle through our various options of blending modes with the very same texture. We can see which each blending mode applied to this texture will do to our image. I'm going to go ahead and select overlay. I like what it's doing to my background and it's adding the warmth that I'm looking for. I'm going to head into my layer mask, and with a soft black brush and a medium opacity, I'm going to go ahead and just take a little bit of that color and texture off of my subject. Now I can be happy with the end result and move on, but because the new Texture Applicator Plus action now includes a texture color changer action, I'm going to go ahead and have some fun with that. With my overlay layer selected, I'm going to go into my actions palette, selecting the MCP Texture Color Changer action, and I'm going to click play. You'll see that this action will let you change or eliminate the color tones of just your texture. We'll make sure that our texture layer is selected, not our background image, and not our entire group of textures. We'll go ahead and click continue because we do have just our texture layer selected. And you'll see the action inserts 2 new layers that we will begin to work with to adjust the color tones of our texture. If we like the texture that it's applying to our image and we don't want any of the color tones, we can quickly click Desaturate Texture. And you'll see that the pop and the color from the texture disappear, but all the grunge and the lines and the texture within the texture remain. For the sake of this image, I want to take my desaturation texture off, and I want to add some warmth to this texture. I want to warm up the background of this photo to bring out the summer feel. With my custom color changer layer selected, I'll go into my adjustments panel. Since I know that I want to make this warm and bright, I'm going to drop down to my reds and pull up my saturation quite a bit. I'll also go into my yellows and do the same thing. If I toggle between my color changer layer here, you can see here's just my overlay with my texture selected. And then I can turn on that color change and you'll see that bright pop of color appear. If you would like to, you can go ahead and go right into your master file and you can really make some changes to the color of your texture, making it whatever color you choose. So the possibilities of the MCP Texture Play Overlay collection are endless. Each texture within itself can be changed in various ways by adjusting the hue and saturation of the texture. Just a couple of little tips when working with the MCP Texture Applicator Plus action. Because this action goes ahead and runs these 6 separate layers using the MCP texture applicator with different blending modes, have some fun and go ahead and toggle through combining different blending modes. You might find that you like the overlay with the multiply also turned on, giving it a little bit of punch. Play with those opacities. You can create numerous combinations to find something that you like. If you do turn on more than one texture layer here and would like to change the color using the texture color changer action, you will have to go ahead and turn that layer on and run that texture color changer action on each layer if you would like to make those color adjustments to all the layers you have selected. Another thing to note, unfortunately, Photoshop Elements as of this point does not create these handy little groups. You can see here in Photoshop my textures are all bundled away in this nice little group here, and by selecting the down arrow I can open up my group to edit. Elements will run this action just perfectly, with the exception that it will not have this grouped feature. Each layer will lay on top of your background layer, but the texture color changer will run just the same, as will the applicator. You just won't see this handy little group here. I hope that you've enjoyed this little tutorial on the MCP Texture Applicator Plus, the advanced version of the original MCP Texture Applicator, which is now available at mcpactions.com.